Hello everybody, my name is Rosa Devine and I'm an illustrator and teacher in Dublin. In this video I'm going to share some of my illustration process with you. This illustration that you can see me working on here is from a book called Wulfie Saves the Planet, which was written by Lindsay J Sedgwick and published by Little Island this year. As you can see, I always start my illustrations with quite a rough sketch. I just want to get in the main ideas and then I'm starting to block in the colours. Even though the main focus is going to be the character, I like to work from the background first because it helps me figure out how I'm going to make my character stand out later on. The main character of this book is a really adorable little creature called a Wulfin, and his name is Wulfie, and he can shapeshift and he can stop time with his sneezes and he can get into all sorts of trouble, which is mainly what he's doing in this illustration. And there was something to me just so delightful about the chaos caused by this little adorable creature in this big busy room. So even though there's a lot going on, and because I'm illustrating in grayscale, everything is kind of the same color, I really wanted to make sure that he was going to stand out immediately that someone looked at the picture. So that's a big part of why you see me spending so much time making sure that he is lovely and textured, and then that the background is quite flat and recedes. So when we open up the page in this book, the first thing that's going to catch our eye is this mischievous little creature knocking over the hat stand. Throughout the book, I'm always looking for opportunities for energy, and that's really what drew me to this character. Part of what I enjoy about illustrating this series is the amount of action and adventure that's always happening. So it's very easy to spend a lot of time carefully drawing things in the world as they are, but I always really loved illustrations when I was growing up that shared a sense of the feeling of what was happening rather than just what it looked like. And Quentin Blake maybe is an illustrator you'd heard of who'd be really famous for this. So even if the shapes aren't accurate or the colours aren't real, or you wouldn't really see a crocodile walking in high heels quite like that, something of the sense of what it would feel like to be part of the scene is to me the most fun thing to try and capture in illustration. And I hope I've done a little bit of this here and it helps bring you into some of the action. For most of the time that I was working on this illustration, only the Wulfin had a lot of texture and fur, and I kept the rest of the background quite flat. Again, just focusing on making sure that the Wulfin was the most eye-catching part. In fact, later on I will decide that there's still too much similarity between the front and the back, and I'll make the background even darker to make the Wulfin stand out. But once I was kind of happy with the overall look and I have all of the objects in position, I do enjoy starting to add texture to the page. I think there's something very nice about an illustration that feels a bit layered. So around about this point in the illustration, I'm feeling pretty happy with the overall layout and the various elements. And it's looking at the picture as a whole, trying to decide what I can do to make it have a little bit more impact and action. And that was the point that I decided that in order for the light bulbs and the Wulfin to be the first thing that your eye lands on when you turn the page, I really need to press the rest of it back into more darkness and create that bit of contrast. And sometimes these are things that you don't spot until the very end, so it's nice to be able to make those adjustments. I hope you enjoyed watching this illustration we put together. Here are a couple of other illustrations from the book. And if you have read it, I hope you have enjoyed the series so far and are looking forward to continuing your adventures with Wulfie.